What's up, guys? Today we're coming at you with a Odd Eyes Ritual deck profile. So let's jump into the deck profile and let's see what we're coming at you with. We're running two Odd Eyes Gravity Dragon. Odd Eyes Gravity Dragon is a very good card. It has a built-in giant True Nade effect whenever it's summoned. Also on top of that, it can also put your opponent in some very odd situations for every time they activate a card, it's going to deal 500 damage as a cost to activate the card effect. So that could really eat up your opponent's life points as you're also trying to OTK him. And since you're going to throw back all your opponent's back row, that could be very, very good for you. We're running three Odd Eyes Pendulum Dragon. Odd Eyes Pendulum Dragon do that extra damage whenever you do an attack on an opponent. So whenever you hit them, if you do 600 damage, go ahead and say 12. Just get that extra damage on him. He's also a very good searcher when he blows up in the pendulum scale in the end phase, so he's very, very good for the deck. We're still running three of the Astrograph Magician. Astrograph is just all around good. You pop one of your Pendulum Magicians, you get a search, you get a copy of the Pendulum Magician that you blew up, and hopefully you just keep plussing from there. He's a very good card to help you keep getting advantage on out of the deck and helps you get that special summon monster on board, so he's very, very good. We're running two Black Fang Magician. Black Fang, I really like his effect wherever he pops him in the pin scale. You end up cutting your opponent's attacking points in half. That's very, very good. And also top of that, if you have a card like your Astrograph in the graveyard or something like that that's a dark spellcaster, you can special summon it back when it hit through his monster's effect whenever he's destroyed. So I like that effect a lot. It helps you keep field advantage at all times. We're running two Double Iris Magician. Double Iris, I love just searching out that spell card to be able to just keep getting extra advantage. To pop him, to make it so that one of your dark spellcasters can do double attack just like Odd Eyes Pendulum. The key thing is you gotta make sure you only do it, you can't do it on your first turn. When I say that, if you draw 5 cards in hand, you're not gonna be able to do that. If you got 6 cards in hand, go on with your plays, run your opponent over. But to be able to get that pop, get that search, to be able to set up other plays helps the deck out a lot. We're running two Purple Poison. Purple Poison just all around good for just clearing off that field. Allows you to get that free monster pop. Also allows you to bump up the attack points of your monsters. Can help do a lot of damage and stuff to your opponent. We're running two of the White Wing Magician. This card just helps to be able to help so when your magicians get targeted that you just say, nah man, I don't want to hear all that noise, don't do that, you don't want to do all that. But she's just all around good for helping you get into Zark and helping Deku negate effects. We're running two the Harmonizing Magician. This girl's really, really good. I like the fact that when you pin summon her from hand, she brings out another magician out of the deck. That helps you get more field advantage. If you wanted to do the link thing, helps you do links a little bit easier. Also on top of that, it helps you go into your XYZ and your synchros easier. The only issue, just be sure that you find a way to get this card back to hand because you can't pendulum summon out of the extra deck. But the deck has ways to get it back to hand, just keep that in mind. We're running three Wisdom Eye. Wisdom Eye is the key strategy to the deck. You want to see this guy as fast as possible. You want to blow him up and start plussing from there. We're running two Oath Dragon. Oath Dragon helps you to get all your magicians, your Odd Eyes back to hand. If they're in the graveyard, special summoning or normal summoning, get them back to hand. If he's in your pin scale, get him back out of the extra deck, go with your plays from there. And lastly, for the monsters, we're running one Noble Dragon Magician because to be able to go into synchros is very, very good, especially these Odd Eyes synchros, so it helps out a lot. And it's a little extra little thing that you can do to put on more monsters on board too. And that is it for our monsters. For our spell cards, we're running one Terraforming. Terraforming is a good card, but in this deck you really don't need that much. Once you get the spell and you get it set up, usually you get the advantage you need and just keep going on from there. The field spell we're running is two Sky Iris. Sky Iris is just all around good, helps you get your ritual card, helps you get your spell card, helps you get any Odd Eyes card that you need, get it to hand. It also helps to protect your pendulum scales from being destroyed. So that's a very good plus for the deck. We're running 3 Odd Eyes Advent. And the reason why I'm running this at 3 and the Odd Eyes Gravity at 2, Odd Eyes Gravity can be ritual summoned back with this card out of the graveyard. So what you can do is once you use it once, they destroy it, send it to the graveyard. As long as you got the ritual requirements that you need, use them, bring them back out of the graveyard, which that helps the deck out a lot. So this is almost like a monster reborn for rituals. So to me, that's very, very good. It makes your opponent have to keep dealing with the threat that they don't want to deal with. So to me, to be able to run 3 of this and 2 of the gravity has been enough. That way I can keep bouncing it back and forth and keep my opponent off guard. I'm running 1 soul charge just in case things don't go the way I want to. Sometimes you gotta tell your opponent, talk to the hand, man. I don't want to hear all that noise. You over here doing crazy stuff over there. Let's go on, talk to the hand. Let me get my board set up, and I'm gonna deal with you. Running 3 Duelist Alliance. Duelist Alliance, you know, this card is just all around good. If the card says Pendulum in the name, grab it out of the deck, go on with your plays from there. Can help you get set up as soon as possible for what you need. We're running 2 Pendulum Call. Pendulum Call at 2 is very good. To be able to pitch a card and to be able to make it so that your pendulum scales cannot be destroyed is all around good card. Just be careful. Sometimes you forget about it and you try to pop your own scale. Just be sure to be mindful of that. But the main thing you want to remember is when your opponent tries to pop your scale, you can always say, hey, pen call, baby, you can't do that. And they let them waste that card. And lastly, for the spells, we're running 2 Star Pentagraph. This card is just all around good for helping you get advantage off onto the board. For instance, if you have your Wisdom Eye and your Star Pentagraph, pop your Wisdom Eye, special summon your Star Pentagraph. Wisdom Eye's effect is going to get you a card. Star Pentagraph's going to go off. You're going to get this for Astrograph, this for Star Pentagraph, and I mean, you just keep plussing from there. I mean, the deck can be very, very good and very, very nutty with this card, and helps you get a lot of advantage that can help you just really overtake your opponent. But that is it for our spell cards. For our traps, we're only running 2 Time Pentagraph. This is just all around good card to help you to get advantage over your opponent, to be able to pop one of your pen scales. As long as you got this up, pop one of your pen scales, trigger this, and get rid of opponent's monster. You're really not minusing on that. So that can help you get a lot of good plays going and helping you take your opponent back a step. But that is it for our main deck. For our extra deck, we're running 1 Zark, because Zark is a dark hole for your opponent's side of the field, and Harpy's Feather Duster too. I mean, he just completely wipes the whole board. And summon him usually when you summon your declaring game anyway. We'll run 1 Supreme King Dragon Storm Venom just to be able to get that good monster on board, to be able to keep beating down your opponent, get those good effects going. We're running 1 Odd Eyes Vortex. Vortex is just all around good card. Really in this deck you don't need it, but it's always there in case you need it. We're running 1 Ignister Prominence. Ignister is just all around. Anytime you can pop one of your scales and spin something back without targeting is all around good. You want to always be able to keep doing that, but just remember, if you get in that iffy situation, it does not target. We got 1 Supreme King Dragon Clearwing. Just the fact that whenever you synchro summon face up monsters, they just, say bye-bye to that stuff. Just go and get that out of here. Get that out of here, man. Get that out of here. That's what you want to say. But this guy's just all around good for getting that good beat down on your opponent. Got 1 Odd Eyes Meteor Burst just to be able to hate on that battle phase. You want to make sure your opponent can't activate monster effects. There's Cosmo players starting to float around again, so you won't be able to make sure you can get over them. We got 1 Odd Eyes Absolute. Odd Eyes Absolute just to be able to get that good negate. Also, when he's destroyed, sent to the graveyard, be able to get that vortex out, and that vortex can help you really beat down your opponent. Running 1 number Big Eye, number 11 Big Eye. Big Eye, just snatch, steal, just don't let them get that crazy monster over there and just beat you down. As long as you got that Big Eye, you got the answers. We're running one Supreme King Dragon Dark Rebellion just to be a out. You know, when your opponent gets those big crazy monsters on board, this right here cut that attack points in half. Run it over. I don't want to hear that. Just run it over. We're running one Tornado Dragon just to be able to make sure you can keep that back row cleared off. You don't want to see no crazy pop effects going off at any given time. To be able to trigger it on your opponent's turn, very, very good. We're running one Castell just to be able to make sure that that face-up card doesn't cause too much problems. If they put up anti-spell, guess what? You got your answer. We're running one Time Star Magician just to be able to help get those magicians in hand that we need. Also, too, to help protect our pendulum scales and also our monsters that are on board that are pendulum magicians. To be able to send those monsters to the graveyard helps out a lot. That way you can get to that Zark play that much faster. Running one Abyss Dweller because there's a few graveyard effects trying to pop off right now, and to be able to stop those effects could stop some whole game plays. So to be able to put Abyss Dweller up there with some other cards is very, very good. We're running one Deco Talker just in case we get in that iffy situation where we got to open up 2 pen scales. We can pencil some for 2 out of the extra deck, or even open up 2 extra deck slots that way we can go off full board on our opponent. And lastly, for the extra deck, we're running one Proxy Dragon just because to have 3 extra deck slots open up is very, very good. And also too, the fact that this card protects cards is also awesome itself. But that is it for the deck profile, guys. Let us know what you think. We're out.